Nelson Mandela, who was born in 1918, was an anti-apartheid activist who would later become South Africa's first black president. In 1939, he entered the elite University of Fort Hare. Mandela became actively involved in politics and joined the African National Congress, ANC, in 1942 when he helped to form the ANC Youth League, which adopted methods of boycott, strike, civil disobedience and non-cooperation to defy the South African government and its racist policies. Nelson Mandela's commitment to politics grew stronger after the 1948 election victory of the dominant party, which introduced a formal system of racial classification and segregation, apartheid, that restricted non-whites' basic rights and barred them from government while maintaining white minority rule. Nelson Mandela helped lead the ANC's 1952 campaign for the defiance of unjust laws, traveling across the country to organize protests against discriminatory policies. In 1955, the Freedom Charter was drawn up at the Congress of the People, a gathering of anti-apartheid advocates, to lay out the vision of a multiracial South Africa in which all races would be treated equally. Along with other activists, Mandela was arrested in 1955 in a countrywide police swoop, which was followed by the 1956 treason trial. The marathon trial only ended when the last accused, including Mandela, were acquitted in 1961. In 1960, police opened fire on peaceful black protesters in the township of Sharpeville, which was followed by the ban of the African National Congress by the apartheid government. Mandela was forced to go underground and began planning a national strike, which in the face of massive state security was called off early. Formally committed to non-violent protest, Mandela began to believe that armed struggle was the only way to achieve change. And so in 1961, Mandela co-founded and became the first leader of the Spear of the Nation, also called MK, an armed wing of the ANC. Mandela now believed that violent forms of political struggle were necessary after, how he put it, all else had failed when all channels of peaceful protest had been barred. Under Mandela's leadership, MK launched a sabotage campaign against key institutions of the government. Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment in the so-called Rivonia trial, which lasted 8 months and attracted substantial international attention. Mandela admitted to some of the charges against him, while defending the ANC's actions and denouncing the injustice of apartheid. He ended his statement with the words, "I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society, in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to see realized. But my Lord, if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in jail, but while in confinement he was able to earn a Bachelor of Law degree from the University of London. He also walked in his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. Mandela remained the symbolic leader of the anti-apartheid movement. He was offered freedom in return for various political compromises, including the renouncement of violence, but he categorically rejected these deals. Newly elected President F.W. de Klerk finally lifted the ban on the African National Congress and called for non-racist South Africa. Shortly afterwards, in 1990, he ordered Mandela's release. After attaining his freedom at the age of 71, Nelson Mandela led the ANC in its negotiations with the governing National Party and various other South African political organizations for an end to apartheid and the establishment of a multiracial South Africa. Their work toward dismantling apartheid in South Africa earned Mandela and President de Klerk the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. In 1994, the country's first multiracial parliamentary elections took place, and Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa, with de Klerk serving as his first deputy. As president, Mandela introduced numerous social and economic programs designed to improve the living standards of South Africa's black population. In 1996, he presided over the enactment of the new South African constitution, establishing a strong central government based on majority rule and guaranteeing both the rights of minorities and the freedom of expression. Improving race relations, discouraging blacks from retaliating against the white minority, and building a new international image of a united South Africa were central to President Mandela's agenda. He retired from politics at the end of his first term as president in 1999, having made important contributions to democracy, freedom, peace and human rights. After leaving office, He established a number of organizations, including the Nelson Mandela Foundation. Nelson Mandela died at his home in Johannesburg at the age of 95.